Hello everyone, and welcome to Talking Telecoms Week. I'm Annie Turner, editor of Mobile Europe. Please note that this session will be available on demand after this broadcast. So today's topic is evolution when SD-WAN met SASE, and I'm delighted to welcome Laurent Perrin from Orange as our expert to discuss this increasingly important subject. So welcome, Laurent, and perhaps we could begin by you saying a few words about your role at Orange before we get into the discussion.
Yes, thank you, Annie. So indeed, I'm part of Orange Business, and I'm leading the product management of overlay connectivity solutions, which actually covers the SD-WAN services, the cloud connectivity services, and the transformation of our portfolio towards virtualized services. And SASE is actually part of this scope, on which we are working very closely with our Orange Cyber Defense division as well, who are the security experts in the group.
Okay, so let's start by me asking you, would you describe SASE, which, just to refresh everybody's memory, stands for Secure Access Service Edge, as an evolution of SD-WAN, which of course is software-defined wide area networking.
Sure.
So is SASE an evolution of SD-WAN?
Yeah, so indeed, this concept, was defined by Gartner in a very precise manner. So saying indeed that SASE is the evolution of SD-WAN. In fact, more than that, it encompasses on one side the SD-WAN, so the network, and on the other side, the security, so the secured service edge, which cover all the major key functions that an enterprise needs to connect to the cloud and to internet, like secured web gateway, like CASB, and so on. So it's really a mix of those solutions. But beyond that, the idea is to have to move towards a unified solution. So if I talk about SASE, somehow it's not a new topic for us, because when we started deploying SD-WAN already 5 or 6 years ago, as part of our projects, we were already combining SD-WAN with security technologies. Like, for example, when we started, we got lots of projects with Cisco on the SD-WAN side and Zscaler on the security side, on the SASE side. And one of the important points of our solution, of our value proposition, was the capability to combine both all together. So indeed, I would say it was somehow a first step, and some customers were already in this SASE-like approach. But I think what Gartner means by SASE, and also what we foresee in the SASE, is to go beyond, is really to think the enterprise architecture globally, and to remove the barriers between the SD-WAN, the network on one side, and the security on the other side, and this to become more efficient and to better cover the evolution of the enterprise requirement in this context of acceleration, of transformation, of digitalization, and so on. So it's definitely an opportunity to move beyond the SD-WAN and to improve the efficiencies and the capability of the enterprise infrastructure.
Okay, Laurent, so can we unpack that a little bit and look at what's driving the market, what it is that customers want? You've mentioned in there AI and security. You've talked about customers wanting better value, and I think consolidation also reared its head. So could you just dig down into that a little more, please, into those details?
So details on the usage. So we are in a context of cloud transformation, and from the beginning, I think it's already the case for SD-WAN. So when we're talking about SD-WAN transformation, it was already about cloud transformation, explosion of the usage, and the need also to review completely the way you manage the security because of this usage, the transformation, and the use of cloud applications instead of traditional application. Now, with what we have seen over the last years, with the COVID, with the move to hybrid working, it has even increased this trend. And somehow, the SD-WAN, which was meant by connecting sites, was only part of the need. And the need for enterprise is more and more about users connecting to applications. which is the purpose of SASE, and the purpose is really to support that in any kind of context, working from home, working from the office, and so on, in a very consistent and transparent manner. So to achieve that, you can do it with using several technologies, mixing different vendors, mixing different providers. Most of our customers are coming from quite complex environment, using several different capabilities, especially on the security side. So several different vendors and several different providers. The benefit of SASE is really to simplify and to streamline this infrastructure to make it much more efficient. And indeed, we think that the more we will simplify and the more we'll converge this kind of infrastructure, this will allow also to benefit from technologies like AI, because we will unify the different capabilities, unify the data, and get more value from these infrastructures. So I think that's where we see this opportunity for this simplification. On one side, yes, it will simplify the landscape and the vendors that are used by an enterprise, but it will add another benefit with the use of the AI capabilities to bring even more value and to continuously optimize the infrastructure. So that's definitely something that we see as a great opportunity for our customers.
So we're thinking about scale, we're thinking about streamlining, we're thinking about being able to apply the same metrics and monitoring and to apply AI in the same way, rather than having to do it different ways for different devices and different services in different places for an enterprise. So it's much more about replication and scale than bits here and something there.
Definitely. It's about scalability. It's about simplification, scalability, cost effectiveness, and the ability also to easily adapt the infrastructure to the evolution of the needs. So because things are moving very quickly, because usage is quite unpredictable between people working from the office, people working from home on one side. Also on the application area, the adoption of new application can be very quick. So the infrastructure needs to constantly adjust to the evolution of those requirements. So scalability, indeed, it's really key. I think globally, what we've seen is that enterprise. So we're coming from quite stable environment. And if we were talking about enterprise network, during 20 years, it was about connecting sites to a private data center in a very stable environment using technologies like MPLS. The bandwidths were growing, but maybe 5 or 10% per year. Everything was quite predictable. And now things are much less predictable. So the agility, the capability to adapt is really key. So adopting a cloud-based technology is also an opportunity to really support that. If you have dedicated box, dedicated firewall, and so on, you never know if we will be able to support the users and to support the user in a consistent manner. And the risk at the end, if you keep this kind of infrastructure, is not being able to deliver the right user experience. So.
Okay, so talk to me then. So my understanding is that Orange Business offers SASE as a sort of managed service, which presumably means you disguise a lot of the complexity, you take a lot of the integration and other pain away.
Yes, definitely. So those technologies exist with vendors, but our objective is to simplify the adoption for our customers. And it's also about helping them in the transformation journey. Our customers are coming from different kind of initial state, initial environment. So they can use, some customers are still using MPLS. Some customers are already moved to SD-WAN. Some of them have various security technologies. So the transformation is something that needs to be adapted to every customer, and especially the pace of this transformation. So our objective is, with our services, the first important point is indeed to support this transformation and to adapt this transformation to every customer context. That's one side of this managed service. And then obviously it's to accompany the customers in the life cycle, in the transformation, in the evolution, in a very flexible manner. And by the way, I think one point I would like to emphasize, we are less and less talking about managed services, but rather we are talking about co-managed services, because on all those topics, actually, it's something that we are working together with the customer, and especially we are talking about security. So many customers are managing security by themselves. So we are positioning an operational model that will be completely adjustable to the specificities of each of our customers, of their organization, of their needs, and so on. So the way we are building our services now, it's really this co-management approach, and being able to share full visibility on the solution to our customers, but also giving them the ability to act and to make some changes in real time on their infrastructure. So that's really the art also of the way we are building these managed SASE services.
Okay, so that's really different from the traditional idea of managed services, where any changes, they have to go through you, the managed service provider.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
Really a big change.
That's really important. That's the way all our customers are working this way, using cloud application, deploying new application. They need a network, and we believe more and more they need a network that behaves like a cloud. So that's where we want to go. And the SASE is part of this journey, and to bring flexible and agile services to our customers to support this transformation and these needs to have constantly adapt their infrastructure.
Okay, so I appreciate what you just said about life is far less predictable than it was. And I think also in terms of growth of data and the changes in work practices, much more demanding, and the pace of change is faster. So maybe I'm going to ask you a bit of an impossible question, which is, how do you see the market developing? Do you think there's going to be huge growth in SASE?
I strongly believe in this market. I think this is the future of the connectivity and the security, and this merge of the two technology. I think it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for large customers who already adopted the technology partly or totally, and to continue to optimize their infrastructure. I was talking about AI capabilities. I also believe that because of the simplicity, because it covers widely the enterprise requirement from the network to the security side, it's also an opportunity to address the needs of the mid-market customers. And some of them are still today still need today much more, for example, in terms of security. They are not always equipped at the right level to be able to face all the security threats that we see in the world. So SASE, with the simplicity to integrate sites, to integrate users, and to deliver the right level of security function on a cloud basis, it's really an easy manner to support this transformation for this kind of customers. So I think we have several areas in which we can grow, and we can see new opportunities of business. Definitely on the large enterprise, by growing the services and providing more value-added services, helping them constantly optimize their architecture, and going down also on the mid-market, and delivering those technology would completely fit, in fact, with the expectations in a simple manner. Because instead of somehow having 5 or 6 or 7 different technologies in your infrastructure, you can go with SASE and support your need globally in a much easier manner. So it's also really clearly an opportunity for them.
Okay, what do you think the next development in SASE in terms of capabilities might be? Do you think maybe it's going to be around security mostly, or?
It will continue around security, but for us, I think the objective is, I am coming back to this point. I think the objective for us is to help customer in the adoption, in the transformation. So for that, we are also our plan is also to tighten our partnerships with the SASE vendors. And actually, what we want to do is to open our infrastructure, open our network to these vendors to ensure that this solution will be our customer will be able to consume this solution in a much easier manner. So we are working on these capabilities, and that's something that on which we are investing strongly to be able to support to facilitate the integration of SASE and especially SSE technology in existing network infrastructure. So we have different approaches that we are working with all the key players, ever being able to host and to integrate their the security solution from our partners inside our network, or having direct interconnections with those SSE players. So we want really to remove the barriers somehow between the network and these cloud security functions. And it's really about easing the transformation and reducing the risk in the transformation phases, and with also, I think, a strong focus, and that's something that's really key in this context of digital adoption. It's also about ensuring the right level of performance and delivering optimal user experience, even especially during these complex transformation phases.